It's about 8 o'clock at night or something like that, just before sunset. I've been sitting here literally since noon, and I walked around out there about an hour and a half ago because I'm like, okay, the grass is super green, there's got to be sprinklers. I could only see one, so they're popping up from down below the grass level. Yeah. So out of 10 sprinklers that are running, I only saw one before it came on. So I'm like, oh, okay. The bike is just around the corner. I moved it over about a foot, but water really isn't spraying too much out there. It's coming in here a little bit, but at least now if it's on now, it shouldn't bother me later. So that'll mean that these ones are probably going to come on next. But again, I should be okay. So I'm going to wait till it gets dark, then I'll grab the cot and bring it in here. And I'll probably leave the bike out where it is. Other news, I looked on a couple of websites. Tractor Supply has a wheel in stock that's similar to, it's size comparable to mine. It's a semi-pneumatic tire, so it won't go flat. It's got the same half-inch bearings, probably the same defective half-inch bearings that I'm using. I noticed I got a crack starting in one of my wheels in the hub, so that's eventually going to fail. So I ordered 2 wheels to the Cheyenne Tractor Supply. It says it'll ship in 2 days. I'm like, okay, but then the email said it'll be there within 10 days, and I'm like, well, I could be in Cheyenne in about 3 days. Today's Friday. Are they going to do anything over the weekend? I don't know. So I guess we'll see. They're $25 a piece, so if it ends up that they're not going to be there, I'll just see if I can cancel it and get a refund and then try to figure out another solution. Yeah, anyway, I'm just watching some races on YouTube. Yay, go cars. Alright, hey, my name is Carlin. Thanks for watching my video. I always forget to say all these things at the end of the video, and I think most people don't watch to the end, so let me just knock this out really quick in the beginning and we'll get on with the show. Cool? Right. I'm working on lighting here too. So, apparently there's about 22 military veterans committing suicide every day. What I'm doing this ride for is to try to bring awareness to the problem and to reach out to people who know veterans or to reach out to veterans directly and first just help them to realize that this isn't the best option, that there's better ways to do this, and that they still matter and we care about them. All right. I know when I got out of the military, it was kind of a rocky start for me. I was so used to how things were. You get out, everything is upside down and it's very chaotic and not a smooth transition sometimes. So I had a lot of empathy for what's going on. If you wanted to help me personally on my ride, my main source of income is through these videos. So you can, if you watch the videos to the end, that helps me because YouTube will recommend the videos if people seem to watch them. If you like the video, go ahead and click the like. If you wanted to help me through donations, below the video there's like the thumbs up button, and near that is a heart. You can click on the heart and choose how much you want to donate. It can be a small or a large donation. That's a one-time only. Also, if you would, please subscribe to the videos so that you see the new ones coming out. I don't get paid directly for subscribers, but it does show that I have engagement with the people. Again, sorry about the backlighting. Finally, if you want to help me through things like PayPal, look in the video description below the video, or I'll put it up on screen here. There's a link, and I've got a website. You can go check that out. It's got links to everything. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and on with the show. From here on, most of the videos are just day-to-day travel log about the ride. I'm shooting this in Montana. I've already gone through 10 or 11 or 12 states already. I'm on the way back to Texas, and then I'm planning on rebuilding and going out to pick up the last 10 states so we get all 22. So that's the plan. I could really use your support, and if you know any veterans, reach out to them and tell them that they still matter, ask how they're doing, and don't take the short answer. And if you want, sit down and talk to them. Cool. All right, on with the show. Definitely getting lightning over there. It's pretty much out to the horizon. I've been watching that cloud bank build for the last couple hours though. Otherwise it looks pretty clear over on this side. It's pretty good flashes. They'll stay under my roof. Sprinklers are done. Oops. Oh, sprinkler's still over there, but different zone. So yeah, just a few clouds to, that's the west. Yeah. Quit running into this thing, I'd be fine. Yeah, it's just popping away over there. I don't think that's even going to get over here. It hasn't been moving, it's just been building over in that area. Huh. Anyway. Alright, about 10 minutes after 6 on July 30th, 2022. Sunrise in a little bit. Not too many clouds, looks good. Alright, restroom first and then pick up early. Alright, 8 o'clock in the morning. I could have been rolling 2 hours ago, but whatever. The battery is officially fully charged, 53 volts. I very seldom actually wait for that, but it was so full from yesterday, it just took a little bit to top it off. I swear with the lack of trees, every diesel makes 100 times more noise out here. It's weird. Anyway, getting ready to roll. I got my map figured out, so, oh, and a ladybug. Off we go. Okay, it's about 9:30. I just wanted to get all this in the same shot. So that's, I'm gonna assume drilling for oil, but it could be a water well rig. It's a big one. Could be. So down yonder is a whole bunch of trains and cars and tracks and stuff. I didn't get this fast enough. Not even sure if this bridge goes anywhere, but that's okay. It's good enough for me. So it's 3 tracks here. And down there it goes to 4 tracks. Yeah, right there it goes to 4. And they've been running trains through here. Like 2 or 3 wide. It's 5 or 6 tracks up there. So they're using it like a siding, right? So there's a bunch of engines. Those are all empty. The full coal cars were going south, so towards us from this angle. So I don't know if they're just staging the empties here, kinda, because it looked like they were moving them for a while, but maybe they're just stacking them all on the track so that when they, because we're not that far from the coal mines. So that could be. But the contrast that I wanted to get in the same shot is I got some windmills going. Well, they're there. We're not getting any wind right now, which is good for me. So in the land where all the coal is coming from, they are starting to build windmills. And I just thought it was funny. It's like, maybe it's just how it worked out, but they're almost hidden from the road. You can just see the tops of them sticking up once in a while, but there's a bunch of them there. I've been seeing them from, since I started today, and they go to the horizon in that direction. So there is a bunch of windmills. So we got probably oil and coal. The wind is coming. Literally about 2 minutes later, another loaded train. Coal going south. I'm not going to wait for the end of it, but it sounds like it's long. According to the signs I've seen, that's all going to power production, not heat. Clouds are coming in. Not really a factor yet. There's definitely a haze in the air though. Oh, that truck driving through the scene. Give you a good scale. It's got to be a 40-foot trailer at least. Talked to a guy driving a pilot car that was with one of these windmill trucks. They have a single blade on a truck and it's like 103 or 110 feet long. So the biggest semi-trailers that I've seen currently, single trailers, 53 feet. So that would be, one of these blades is twice as big as a semi-trailer, each blade. Yeah. Okay, we're about 5 miles from the next rest area. I was looking at options. I could do this one or I could push on to the next one, but I think the next one is another 30 miles or something. It's already 4 o'clock. With the clouds coming in, I could lose solar. I don't think I'm going to get rained on. But yeah, I think I'll stop instead of burning myself out. Just a quick look at the landscape. So, yeah, it started off with one little cloud and another one and another one. Mostly I'm getting solar. Right now I'm in the shadow though. But at the end of the day, I've still got 50 volts. So that's pretty awesome. And I did a few miles today, so I'll figure it out when I get there. But it seemed okay. Yeah. That's a cool looking background. All right. Okay. Oh, I see what happened. The Google Assistant thought I was talking to it instead of talking to the camera. That's a little weird. Anyway, so it's about 6:30 in the evening now. It's still pretty warm in here, or out here. I'm under a covered picnic table area again. I want to build one of these for my house someday. I remember seeing one of these years ago. I've talked about this on my channel before, but there was a camp or a rest area I saw. I don't even remember where it was now. I thought it was in Montana maybe. But they had a different design now, so this might have been pretty old. But they had done kind of just big X's from the top and put picnic tables on each side, and then little deflector wings on a couple of them. So depending which way the wind was blowing or the sun was shining, you could find one that gave you shade or shelter, and you just kind of moved around until you found the right one. Kind of cool. So anyway, so I did about 58 miles today. It was over 90 degrees. I bought, this was funny. So I went through the town of Douglas. We're still in Wyoming. Yeah, can't lose track of that after a while. Hit the O'Reilly's first. They didn't have, yeah, so I was looking for the little wheel bearings for the trailer. Went to the O'Reilly's first, brought one in. The guy looked at it, tried to find a part number to cross on it, and without being able to find it in the computer, he couldn't find it. Okay, fine. So then I go find a hardware store found 3 of the bearings, and this guy was cool. I walk in the door. Which store was it? Hank's, maybe? Something like that. So walk into this place. As I come through the door, my eyes are still adjusting. The guy says, "Hey, how can I help you?" And I was like looking around. I couldn't even see him. He was kind of behind something at first. Okay, there he is. Good. I hold up my little bearing. Oh, okay. So he tells me where it is. And I start walking, and then I realize he's right behind me all the way across the store. And I look back, and he walks down the aisle and just doesn't even hardly stop. He just hits exactly the right spot, reaches out, pulls the drawer out, points, and then goes back to the point of sale. I'm like, this guy freaking is awesome. And because I've been having trouble finding these bearings, and he knew exactly where they were. I'm like, cool, But there was only 3, so I'm like, all right, so I got them, and they're about $5 a piece. Okay, fine. And I think about it, and there was another hardware store on the other end of town that I was going to go past, and it was right next to the Safeway. And I go in there, and that one had 8. I'm like, I took them all, right, at $5 a piece. So it's $40 worth of bearings. But okay, if they don't last very long. I mean, they aren't made for going long distances. That's the thing, is you're supposed to put them on a little cart that you put in your garage or something like that, and you'd maybe use it once or twice a year. You're not supposed to go across the country with them. So unfortunately, that just happens to be what I'm stuck with. I don't want to literally reinvent the wheel. This isn't even really the right bearing for this wheel, but it's close enough to work. And without major changes, that's what I got. Okay. So then I hit the Safeway, stocked up on some more groceries, like a couple days worth, because it doesn't make sense to carry a week's worth of groceries if you're going to be going by another store in a couple days. Okay. So get that. And then on the way out of town, I saw a Tractor Supply, and I'm like, okay, I had already ordered a couple of new wheels to a Tractor Supply in Cheyenne, but I'm having my doubts of if they're going to be there in time. And so what I'm thinking is, when I get to Cheyenne, I'll see if they're there. If not, I'll just cancel the order. Or if you don't pick them up, they eventually will cancel it on their own. Okay. And then you get a refund. The ones that I ordered were $25 a piece. The ones that I found were $39 a piece. I think they're the same wheel, so they were cheaper online. That kind of sucks a little bit, but okay. I didn't even really think about it at the time. I was wondering if they would have honored the online price at the store. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, okay, they're in stock. I'm going to grab them and then cancel the other ones, kind of thing. So these are basically solid wheels or solid tires with spoke wheels. They look kind of like the other wheels. I'll show a picture of them later, maybe. I think I'll put them on either tonight or tomorrow. I think what I want to do, though, I'm going to put one wheel on and run it, so I'll have a new one and an old one and see how they hold up, kind of thing. Because if they are just terrible, I can at least return the one that I haven't used. So I don't know that they're going to be any better than what I got, but it's a change, and I've got a crack in the hub of one of the wheels that came with the trailer, so that's not going to last very long. It's starting to get a little weeble wobble, so that's never good. Unfortunately, and I kind of saw it, but there wasn't anything I could do about it, the bearings that I bought have the same inside diameter, so you can put a 1/2-inch bolt through for the axle, but the outside diameter of the bearing is bigger on the new wheels, so all the bearings I bought won't fit the new wheels. Yeah, just because it's kind of the way this trip is going. So yeah, I'm kind of like, well, I've made a huge investment in new bearings and spare tubes for the old wheels, and then I've got the 2 new wheels that don't need tubes because they're a solid rubber tire, but the bearings probably won't fit them. Yeah, well, I'm really sure they won't fit. They look like they're different size. Same size bolt, just different bearing outer size. So on the plus side, with them being slightly bigger, maybe they're stronger and will last a little longer. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Yeah. This is just literally got to last until I get home. And then I'm going to go back to bicycle wheels, which will be a lot bigger and should last longer because bicycle wheels, are lasting me thousands of miles. So, yeah. Anyway, so $40 worth of bearings plus $80 worth of two wheels. It's like, for a temporary solution. But if I break a wheel in the middle of nowhere, and this is the thing is I've been looking, most places don't have a 16 or 20 inch wheel like that. They got little wheels like 10 inches and 12 inches. Like the wheels that I bought that I stole the bearings out of were like 12 inches or 10 inches, something like that. I need 16 minimum, and 20 would have been, if there was 20s, I would have got them. Make it a little bit bigger, right? I've got 20s at home though. So what I'm hoping is the bearings that I bought will fit the wheels I have at home. I think they will. Okay, so then I can make something out of that for whatever, May or may not use them on the ranch, I don't think I'll use them on the road, but they might be good for around the ranch. Okay, so that's that. Let's see, I did 58 miles today. It was over 90 degrees. I had set myself up today. I was looking ahead. There's this rest stop and then another one about 15 or 20 miles further. And by the time I got here, I'm like, no, this will be fine. I was like, if things really would have gone well, I could have pushed to the next one. But then I stopped in Douglas and I, hit auto parts store and 2 hardware stores plus Safeway. And then the Tractor Supply. And while I was there, I was getting hungry, and I thought, well, instead of eating all of my snacks, that I just bought in the at the Safeway, there was a Village Inn, which you don't see them very much, but they're actually really good. It's very similar to a Denny's, very much the same kind of menus. They have really good pies. Apparently, I don't think I've ever had one of their pies, but the big sign says they had pies. So, time you get done eating, you're usually pretty much full. Really good food. And middle of the day, there was nobody in there practically, so my order got filled like really fast. So that was nice. Just kind of chilled out for a while. And then I rode another hour to get to here, and then I'm like, okay, we're done. Today went really good for solar though, because I had fully charged. Oh no. Day before yesterday, I charged the battery at the rest stop. Got it almost fully charged, but not quite. And then that day, I only rode 30 miles. So then I parked the bike and got it completely fully charged. So when I started this morning, I was at 53. And I'm back up to 52 now. And I got here at 4 o'clock. And it was kind of cloudy, so it's almost fully charged again. And I was riding along. This was kind of what made me want to try harder on getting the bike or getting the trailer wheels to be set up right. When I put the last new bearing in, I swear I was going 5 miles an hour faster without even trying. That's when I realized how bad the bearing had been. So I'm like, okay, if I can get those things to work right, and that also gives me a lot of hope for the new trailer when I get finished it, because it'll roll better again. Because I've experimented with enough different wheels, and you definitely know when it's working right. The weight of the trailer, it doesn't really make as much difference as the rolling resistance. So you can be pretty heavy, and as long as it rolls good, if you have good wheels, good bearings, you're fine. If the bearings are starting to jam up, it's just agony. You can barely get going. You're using way more power, which is a problem, especially on a cloudy day. So, yeah. So even with the newer bearings, those wheels aren't doing very good. And, okay. So I'm hoping the new wheels help. Now, are they going to last till I get home? I don't know. Maybe. Because that trailer and those wheels have been since Ridgecrest, China Lake. So it's all the way through California. And anything after Death Valley was that new trailer. So I've got less than that going home, so we should be okay. And then after that, we'll just park it, and I don't know what I'll do with it after. It doesn't really fit with my current plans, but it's like, well, maybe it'll be useful for something. So we'll just kind of hang on to it, and then move all the parts over to the new trailer again, whatever I come up with. I probably will look at some of the other stuff I've built already and see if I can modify it instead of starting over, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, we'll end up with a good charge for tomorrow. And I looked ahead. On the offline map and on Google Maps, I marked where the next 2 rest stops are, and that should get me out of Wyoming. So I think I'll be out of Wyoming. Let's see, today's Saturday, Sunday. I think I got 2 days left in Wyoming still, and then Colorado. That's about 350 miles again. So I figure a week in Colorado, a week in New Mexico, and a couple days in Texas. So, yeah, it's like, you know, in my head, I'm looking ahead. It's like, okay, what am I going to do when I get home? And I'm like, no, I got a couple, 3 weeks yet before I get home. But all right, that is that. So that is that. I think that's going to do it, though. Not supposed to rain today, but probably will. I didn't get any rain last night. This has got the same setup as the last rest area I was at, and I'm looking at this really nice green grass, so there's got to be sprinklers here. So I'm just going to kind of keep an eye. The sprinklers, the last place, they did set them up so that most of the water didn't come into where the table was, but there was always a little bit of random, you know, a little bit that came in, so you just kind of look around, and most of my stuff is on the trailer, so now I got to watch what's out there and what's in here. And if they do the same setup, the sprinklers should probably come on about 8 o'clock at night when it starts cooling down. You know, you don't run the sprinklers in the middle of the day. So, yeah, I'm getting better at this. It's like, okay, really nice green grass has to be sprinklers. So, be looking for that. Yeah, and then what's the other thing? Where's the street lights? Okay, there's no lights in here. That's nice. I see a concrete pad sitting over there. That's probably where the street light was supposed to go. It's not there. So it might be pretty dark here, which would be nice. I've had days where you camp right under a street light, and it's like, all right, just pull your head under the covers, and every time you look up and you think it's the moon or the sun coming up, no, it's just the street light. So, just weird, random things. Oh, this was hilarious. The last rest stop I was at had the same layout as another one that I'd been at. So you walk in and it just looked very similar because they got the same signs and everything like that. Same water fountain in the same spot. And I walked right into the ladies' restroom because they had flipped it. And I'm like, no! You know, like 2 or 3 times that day I started walking into the ladies because it was where the men's was on the other one. It was like, oh man, gotta pay attention. I think this one is the same again. So it's like, okay, just stop and read the sign, you know. But it's like you get so familiar with the setup, it's like, that's, you know, this is not the ideal vacation where you're just going from one rest area to the next, but I'm saving 15 or 20 bucks a night for camping, so, and I'm not camping in the ditch or the freeway, so it's not terrible. You know, I hope they don't get too mad at me, but every time I stop, I'm, you know, 50 miles from the next one, so probably they don't know me. You know, they don't. It'll be funny if anybody's looking at surveillance, they'll start to see me at all the rest stops, but hopefully I'll be out of state before they really have a problem with that. Yeah. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching the videos, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye for now.